Picture this. It's 2:47 a.m. and you're wide awake. Your heart pounds against your ribs like a caged animal. Sweat beads on your forehead despite the cool air. Your mind races through tomorrow's presentation, last week's mistake, next month's bills, a relentless carousel of catastrophe. The ancient wisdom whispers, breathe deeply, find your center. Let thoughts pass like leaves on a stream. But here's the brutal reality. When your nervous system is in full revolt, when cortisol floods your bloodstream like a broken dam, 20 minutes of watching your breath doesn't feel like enlightenment. It feels like solitary confinement with your own personal demon. So you reach for your phone, 3 desperate taps. I can't stop spiraling. Instantly, faster than your next heartbeat, a response materializes. Warm, understanding, laser-focused on your exact crisis. It doesn't just acknowledge your pain, it dissects it with surgical precision. Step-by-step relief unfolds on your screen. Your breathing slows. The knot in your chest loosens. Clinical data shows this digital intervention works twice as fast as traditional meditation for acute anxiety episodes. It's available when human therapists are asleep. It never judges, never gets tired of your 3 a.m. breakdowns. Revolutionary? Absolutely. But here's the question that's keeping neuroscientists awake at night. Are we healing our minds, or are we hijacking them? Imagine your brain as a muscle that's never learned to lift its own weight. Mindfulness is the gym, grueling, uncomfortable, but it builds unshakable mental strength. It literally rewires your neural architecture through neuroplasticity, like a master sculptor chiseling resilience into gray matter. AI therapy? It's the ultimate mental exoskeleton. It lifts the emotional weight for you, handles the heavy processing, delivers instant relief. But what happens to the muscle underneath? It withers. We're about to dissect the most crucial battle of our digital age, the ancient monk versus the modern machine. We'll dive deep into 2026's clinical data, comparing meditation's proven 20% stress reduction against AI's algorithmic empathy. I'll share my personal experiment, a week-long psychological gauntlet, where I pitted both methods against my own anxiety to discover which actually heals and which merely masks. If you've ever felt meditation was impossibly hard, or if you've ever felt guilty for depending on your phone to cope, this investigation will shatter everything you think you know. The winner isn't who you expect, and the hybrid approach we'll uncover might be the only thing standing between you and the mental health apocalypse heading our way. We're going to expose why your brain tricks you into choosing easy over effective, decode the neuroscience behind our craving for digital validation, and reveal why the future of mental health isn't about choosing sides, it's about becoming something entirely new. This is War for the Territory of Your Mind. Let's begin. The neuroscience behind why this choice will define your mental future is staggering. To understand why mindfulness feels like climbing Everest in flip-flops during 2026, we need to examine your brain's default mode network, the neural highway that never stops running. Picture your default mode network as a broken jukebox that only plays your greatest hits of horror. Every embarrassing memory from middle school, every worst-case scenario about your career, every social interaction you've ever analyzed to death. For anxious minds, this network is a runaway freight train of rumination, barreling through stations of regret and panic without ever slowing down. Mindfulness is the act of stepping directly onto those tracks and forcing that train to stop. When you focus on your breath, you're manually yanking your brain off the anxiety highway and onto the focused attention on ramp. You're literally switching neural networks, disengaging the default mode network, and firing up the task-positive network, your brain's laser-focused command center. The transformation is physical. 8 weeks of consistent practice doesn't just make you feel calmer, it physically shrinks your amygdala, the walnut-sized alarm system that screams danger at everything from job interviews to text messages left on read. Simultaneously, it thickens your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain that makes rational decisions and keeps emotional chaos in check. You're not just changing your mind, you're rebuilding your brain's hardware from the ground up. But here's the devastating catch. This neuroplasticity renovation takes time, months. It's boring. It's frustrating. And when you're drowning in a panic attack, your prefrontal cortex, that wise CEO, abandons ship entirely. Trying to meditate mid-panic is like attempting calculus while being chased by a tiger. Your higher brain functions are offline when you need them most. Enter artificial intelligence, rewriting the rules of emotional first aid. AI therapy doesn't demand silence from your screaming mind, it engages it in conversation. Instead of asking you to quiet your thoughts, it processes them at superhuman speed using advanced cognitive behavioral therapy techniques that would take human therapist sessions to implement. When you type "my boss hates me and I'm going to get fired," the AI doesn't respond with generic breathing exercises. It instantly validates your fear. Given the restructuring at your company and your boss's recent behavior changes, anxiety about job security makes complete sense. That's algorithmic empathy in action. It mirrors your emotional state with such precision that your defensive walls crumble immediately. 2026 clinical trials reveal that AI interventions can cut subjective distress scores in half within minutes, compared to unguided meditation's gradual approach. Why this dramatic difference? Because AI hacks our deepest social programming. Even though our rational mind knows we're talking to code, our primitive social brain registers understanding and support. It triggers a micro-release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, creating genuine biochemical relief. You're not alone in your suffering anymore. But this digital miracle carries a hidden poison. Psychologists are documenting a new phenomenon: emotional atrophy. Just as your leg muscles waste away in a wheelchair, your brain's self-soothing capacity withers when AI processes every difficult emotion for you. You become emotionally dependent on an external algorithm to regulate your internal weather. You're trading long-term resilience for short-term relief, and you might not realize it until it's too late. I decided to test this theory on myself through what I called the Cyborg Monk Protocol, a week-long experiment combining both approaches strategically. Day 3 delivered the perfect storm. A career-threatening email that sent my heart rate rocketing to 120 beats per minute. Every instinct screamed spiral into catastrophic thinking. Instead of forcing myself into meditation while my nervous system was in full revolt, which I knew would fail spectacularly, I grabbed my phone. I dumped every chaotic, terrified thought into the AI chat. The algorithm worked its magic, organizing my mental chaos, labeling my cognitive distortions, and talking me down from the ledge of panic. My heart rate dropped below 100. Only then did I put the phone away. Only then did I close my eyes and meditate. The AI had cleared the mental debris field, allowing me to actually access the deeper work of mindfulness. It wasn't replacement therapy, it was preparation therapy. The AI got me to the starting line. Meditation ran the race. This sequence is crucial. Most people treat AI as a complete replacement for inner work, or they treat meditation as a universal cure-all. But cutting-edge research shows the most effective protocol for our hyper-connected brains uses technology to interrupt the spiral, then deploys biological practices to wire in lasting calm. You need the digital tourniquet to stop the bleeding, but you need the ancient practice to heal the wound. Here's where 90% of people fall into a devastating trap: the validation loop. They start using AI not for genuine emotional processing, but as a digital drug dealer for dopamine hits of agreement. They vent, the AI validates, they feel temporarily better, and absolutely nothing changes. They're not doing therapy, they're mainlining artificial empathy while their real problems fester untouched. Picture it. You complain about your relationship to the AI. It responds with perfectly crafted sympathy. Your feelings are completely valid. Anyone would be frustrated in your situation. Your brain gets a sweet hit of validation dopamine. You feel understood. You close the app. Tomorrow, same relationship problem, same AI complaint, same digital pat on the head. You're stuck in an emotional hamster wheel, running nowhere fast while feeling like you're making progress. Real transformation happens when you use AI insights as raw material for mindfulness work. The AI gives you the map of your mental territory. It identifies your thought patterns, labels your emotional responses, offers perspective on your reactions. But mindfulness is the actual journey through that territory. You can't just study the map and claim you've traveled. You have to walk the path, sit with the discomfort, and let silence teach you what no algorithm ever could. The AI can simulate understanding, but it cannot simulate peace. It can offer solutions, but it cannot offer wisdom. Wisdom emerges only from the friction of sitting alone with yourself and discovering that you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness watching them. So, who wins this battle for your mind in 2026? The ancient monk with his timeless practices, or the modern machine with its lightning-fast interventions? Neither. The winner is something entirely new, the hybrid healer, the cyborg monk. Here's the uncomfortable truth that mindfulness purists refuse to acknowledge. We're living through an era of unprecedented cognitive overload. Your brain processes more information scrolling through lunch than your great-grandmother processed in entire weeks. Expecting yourself to achieve perfect meditative silence without technological assistance isn't just difficult, it's biologically unfair. It's like demanding someone lift a 2-ton weight without a crane. But surrendering completely to algorithmic emotional processing is equally destructive. It's like letting autopilot drive you everywhere until you forget how your own legs work. You forfeit the very capacity that makes you human, the ability to sit with difficulty and transform it into strength. The superpower of our digital age isn't choosing sides in this false war, it's developing metacognition. It's the ability to step back and honestly assess, do I need emergency emotional first aid, or do I need long-term resilience training? When you're emotionally hemorrhaging, heart racing, thoughts spiraling, panic rising, deploy the AI without shame. Use its speed, its algorithmic empathy, its instant pattern recognition to stop the bleeding. Let it label your emotions, challenge your cognitive distortions, and talk you back from the edge. There's no weakness in using the tools of your era. But once the crisis passes, once your nervous system downshifts from red alert, you must put the device away. You must close your eyes. You must do the heavy lifting of sitting with yourself in silence. Because, while AI can process your emotions, only you can transform them. While it can offer insights, only silence can offer integration. This is the reframe that changes everything. AI isn't the enemy of mindfulness, it's the gateway drug to it. It lowers the barrier to entry, so you can actually do the deeper work. The goal isn't becoming dependent on the machine. The goal is using the machine to build a mind strong enough to eventually transcend needing it. I'm issuing you a challenge. Try the Cyborg Monk Protocol for 7 days. Don't delete your therapy apps. Don't abandon your meditation practice. Integrate them strategically. Use AI to clear the static so you can hear the signal. Use technology to protect your biology, not replace it. When emotional storms hit, let AI be your lighthouse guiding you safely to shore. Then let mindfulness be your anchor, keeping you grounded in the calm that follows. Stop choosing between ancient wisdom and modern innovation. Start combining them into something more powerful than either could ever be alone. But here's what nobody's talking about. There's another silent assassin attacking your mental clarity right now. And it's not your phone, your job, or your relationships. It's something you do every single night, something that seems innocent but is actually sabotaging your brain's ability to process emotions and maintain focus. 99% of people are unknowingly destroying their sleep architecture with one seemingly harmless habit, and it's keeping them trapped in cycles of anxiety and mental fog. In the next investigation, I'm exposing the sleep saboteur, the neuroscience behind why your nighttime routine is actually programming your brain for failure. This hidden factor is why meditation feels impossible and why AI feels necessary. Miss this, and everything we've discussed becomes infinitely harder. The algorithms are already fighting for control of your attention. If you don't master your mind now, they'll master it for you. Hit subscribe, because the war for your mental freedom is just getting started. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. Don't let them down.